Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Darling Street for round 13 in the Newcastle held NPL Women's Competition for 2025. We're just minutes away from the start of our first grade fixture, so I'll go through our two teams. Firstly, for the visitors, Maitland FC. Number 1, Annabella Thornton. 23, Georgia Amos. 10, Josie Morley. 4, Keely Goldthrop. 7, Lana Kearney. 14, Renee Poutney. 17, Serena Carter. 8, Sophie Nenenovich. 11, and captain, Sophie Stapleford. 18, Talia Gosner. And 15, Willow Neal. And on the bench for Maitland, reserve goalkeeper, 39, Alex Taylor-Williams. Number 30, Sienna Frost. 2, Charlotte O'Connor. 22, Georgie Williams. 3, Julia Ennis. 35, Mary DeSwing. And 9 is Sophie Jones. And they're coached by Joseph Wright. And for the home side at Newcastle Olympic, in goals, number 41, Janali Haynes. 14, Alex Huon. 7, Elodie Dag. 3, and captain, Gemma House. 8 is Jess Evans. 5, Georgia Holt. 9, Kira Bainsfair. 6, Laura Hall. 12, Riley Dobson. 11, Sophie McDonald. And making her Newcastle Olympic debut, number 2, Zoe Daly. On the bench for Olympic, 13, Maddie Howard. 15, Montana Quick. 16, Sarah King. 22, Emily Hingston. 35, Kayla Baldery. And reserve keeper, 31, Sienna Williams. They are coached by Craig Atkins. Good luck to both teams. Play hard, play fair, but most importantly, play football.
Your weekend of women's NPL football starts with what is near enough to a top-of-the-table clash underneath the lights at Darling Street Oval. Good evening from myself, Daniel Herrera. We'll hear from Cass Davis as well very shortly. It is third-place Newcastle Olympic hosting the competition leaders Maitland FC. We'll run through the team use as we wait for the players to come out. A couple of changes on both sides of the ledger. Newcastle Olympic without the services of Danielle Nicol this weekend. So we've got Zoe Daly, Gemma House, Georgia Hogg, Laura Hall, Elodie Dagg, Jesh Evans, Kira Bainsfair, Sophie McDonald, Riley Dobson will be leading the line, Alex Hyun, and Janali Haynes in the gloves, with the gloves on rather, for Olympic. The bench of Maddie Howard, Montana Quick, Emily Hingston, Sienna Williams, Kiela Baldery and Sarah King. The coach is Craig Atkins. For the visitors, a bit of injury news for them. Marianne Sweng is back in the team this weekend, but she will be starting on the bench. So for Maitland, it's Annabella Thornton in goals, Keely Gawthrop, Lana Kearney, Sophie Nanadovich, Josie Morley, Sophie Stapleford, Renee Pountney, Will O'Neill, Serena Carter, Talia Gosner and Georgia Ames. The starting 11, a bench of Charlotte O'Connor, Julia Innes, Sophie Jones, Georgie Williams, Sienna Frost, the aforementioned Swang, Alexandra Tagarulius. The coach is Joseph Wright. Just waiting for toss of the coin. Looks like it's been won by Gemma House. At this rate, I'm unsure who's going which way. We'll have to figure that out in a sec. We say good evening for the first time to Cass Davis. Cass, we'll start with the host, Newcastle Olympic. Haven't played for the best part of 3 weeks. How do you think this is going to be for them getting back into it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough, especially on a pitch that's been wet for so long. I think we'll probably see a few tired legs out there, but it's always good to be back playing. But yeah, it's always tough when you've had a few weeks out and you've got to try and get back in. Training just doesn't replicate a game enough. So it's going to be tough for Olympic. But I think also for Maitland, it's going to be a really good game.
And for Maitland too, they've lotted their copybook somewhat. A League Cup loss to in the final, and then a draw last time out, dropping points for just the second time this season in league competition against Adamstown. They had the bye in round 12. This is officially round 13, although it's still a jumbled up table with byes and weather. It will be Olympic kicking off, and they'll be running from right to left on your screen. So we are just seconds from a start. As we said, third versus first. Both teams are looking to get back to getting all 3 points tonight, and we are underway at Darling Street. Olympic getting things going and getting adventurous immediately. Good conditions for football tonight. Just a very light breeze, mild temperature. It's not too cold. Pitch looks in decent nick, although we will see how it holds up after all the rain that we've had as part of the world in the last couple of weeks. Dag trying a little nod on and trying to force the issue here with McDonald. Maitland deal with the threat all the way back to Thornton. Now Neil. Find an avenue through that doesn't quite work out. So this is House on the ball now. Tries to float one over. It's slightly overcooked. Bainsfair will chase after it, but Kearney gets there first for the Magpies. And is Zoe Daly getting her first touch. Big inclusion for Olympic tonight.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good signing for Newcastle Olympic. Zoe Daly's had a lot of experience in the academy at the Jets, gone overseas and is coming back for a little stint with Newcastle Olympic. So, yeah, really good pickup. She's a pretty versatile player too. I think you could see her anywhere on the field.
They brought her in at left back tonight. Officially, it's 3 across the back in the formation diagram we've got. She's playing in place of Danielle Nicol, at least to start this one. This is Bainsfair in a little bit of space. Sort of her customary right-back position, and a little flick from Dag, inventive, but it works out. It's just that Dobson got the ball caught under her feet. Now with Gosner. See the high press from Olympic immediately, and Maitland's just play themselves out of trouble here. Now they've found a little bit of space on that far side of Darling Street Oval. Back with Gawthrop, and then she goes to switch a player that goes to Gosner first. Will O'Neill with the shy, the right back for the ladies in black and white. Dobson trying to hold this one up. Needs a little bit of support here. It's not coming at the moment, so it's Nenadovich now. And Dobson trying to win it back immediately. McDonald has given himself a little bit of work to do and just can't keep it in play. Maitland trying to use the full width of the park here, just using a little bit too much there. Hall. Trickles through for a goal kick. Because 3 points are always important for both sides, but it's an interesting scenario for Olympic. They're 9 points behind Maitland. That's not quite as much a margin, it appears. They've got one game in hand relative to the leaders. So something of a 6-pointer tonight, an opportunity to really close the margin. 6 points with a game in hand would look a lot nicer for them. And of course, they're trying to keep in touch as well with that second place Zuri. A mess. Just has it taken off her by Daly, who immediately tries to launch a counter-attack here for Olympic. Dobson is waiting centrally to get across maybe a little bit quicker. Maitland got the numbers back quickly to try and snuff that out. It still found its way through to Dobson now. She's back to goal, looks for a little layoff, and then MS and no-nonsense clearance. Hyun now, all the way back to her keeper, Haynes. One that's turned over in a dangerous area. They might make them pay here. It's just wide of the target. Oh, it was Pountney who can hit them from distance, and she almost made them pay cash there.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a slip up by the goalkeeper there. She'll be thankful that Renee Pountney couldn't finish that opportunity.
So a let off there for Olympic. First decent chance that Maitland have had, which is interesting, because they can score them. 27 goals so far this season, and miserly in defence is really how the points have been accumulated so far for the competition leaders. So nodded central, and Hall do some good work there, flicks it across to Hyun. Tries a big switch of play. It's a nice ball. Dobson helps it on its way just a little bit too much. And through to the gloves of Annabella Thornton.
I was just looking at Newcastle Olympics set up, and looks like they've got Alex Hun playing right back, which is interesting to see that they would put her out there. She's normally a centre back or a 6. In a back 3, I can see her playing there, but in a back 4, I'm not sure if that's her best suited position.
Dag forces the save from Thornton there. So they have, you're right, they have gone the standard sort of 4 across the back, which is a little bit different to how we saw the team sheet. And that should be a blue throw, and it is. Last touch from Morley. Here's Morley again. McDonald. That one pinched off her, and he does go the Magpies' way. Neil looks up the line, tries to send Morley on away. It was read well by Evans. Playing in the centre of defence, as usual. She's just been bundled off the ball there by Gawthrop, who was strong on it, but plenty of blue jerseys back there to deal with the threat. And Gawthrop makes an excellent sliding challenge, and then might have just been felled illegally by Daly. Free kick to Maitland.
Yeah, I've also been studying a little bit of Maitland's shape and who they've got in each position, and they've gone for Sophie Stapleford as the centre striker leading the line today. And we know she can finish, but I really think her left foot crossing is lethal, and she can set so many people up for goals when she's out on that left. So they've got Renee Pountney out there, so it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Not a bad spot to swing this one in. It's Nananovic that does, and it's helped through. It's spun in. There's the opening goal. And Maitland take the lead. It looks like it was Talia Gosner, I think, that got the touch. The centre back who's getting forward and putting it in the back of the net. And Maitland take the lead.
Yeah, nice early goal for Maitland. They're going to be happy with that. They're a team that keeps a lot of possession, plays some good football, so to score off a set piece is always good, and I'm sure they'll be stoked with that, especially your centre-back scoring. They like to rub it into the strikers, so she scored a few goals this year, Talia.
And now they're immediately on the break again here. And that's good work from Evans. Good, intelligent defending. Just inside the 10-minute mark, we have our first goal. Now you've got to try and chase the game against a team that's only conceded 7 in 10 so far. Dag, just first touch takes her backwards and rides the challenge well. It's back on the front foot, but that is Gosner making good use of the body. Thornton called into action again. O'Messa's got a bit of work to do here. Come off the hand, may have been incidental. Play on. O'Mess strong in the challenge, but just weight of numbers favours Olympic there. Nananovic. The play back at the moment. That's Carter sending it wide. Back inside for Kearney. Try and slide one in behind. And that might be a free kick as well. It is. It's Alex Hewen who just mistimes the challenge. And it's going to be almost a mirror image of what we saw a few minutes ago.
Yeah, good opportunity for Maitland again. Bit of a silly foul there by Alex. Gives Maitland a good chance to potentially score another goal early in this game.
It's going to be Pountney who takes her own free kick here. 2 in the wall for the ladies in blue. Pountney goes short this time. It's helped on its way, and it's another goal. Mess pass that got the final touch this time was flicked on its way by Stapleford. And it was an easy opportunity for Georgia Ames, and she doubles the lead from Maitland.
It's called NNSW.
Yeah, we talked about that early goal, and now they've got two. Newcastle Olympic will be disappointed with that. 2 set pieces, poor defending. Now they've got to chase this game.
So the Magpies strike twice in 3 minutes. And it's a 2-0 lead already to the visitors at Darling Street. And they're trying to turn the screws again. Hyun has to move quickly. Thornton is under a little bit of pressure here, and Neil as well. McDonald now has to float one in the direction of Dobson. It's just slightly over here. Thornton ambles over. I guess the only upside for Olympic at the moment is that they've got time to try and pare back those 2 goals. But like we said, they're going to have to do it against a pretty stingy defence.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. The stat before about Maitland only conceding 7 goals, was it, in 10 games is pretty impressive. So Olympic just have to go for it. They've just got to try and get in behind that Maitland defence and really test them.
House gets a crossover. It's a slightly awkward one for Gosner, and then there's a little bit of a mix-up, a little bit of a ricochet on the edge of the Maitland area, but now they try and break with Ames, who's just found the back of the net. She tries to slide one through and continues the run, and it's good work. The strike comes in from distance, and it's just over the bar from Sophie Nenadovich. Because they're not the highest scoring team. I think that's... it's your mob, isn't it, Cass? New Lambton?
I don't actually know. I haven't checked. I know Tara scored lots of goals, but yeah, that would be pretty good if we are.
Cass Davis is an interested observer. You are playing on Sunday. Who have you got again? Remind me.
Broadmeadow Magic.
Magic, okay. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Every game streamed on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel. Got to get too Atlantic with the pronunciations. Hyun just has to knock it out of play.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much from Newcastle Olympic in the front third. I think they need to start to push some players on and take a few risks. I see that Gemma House is set up as a winger, mainly on the left.
McDonald! Oh, what a strike! And it's 3-0. And how? So it was Stapleford that got it. Stapleford that hit it really well off the left peg. 3-0 to Maitland.
Yeah, very good goal by Sophie. She'd be stoked with that one. I always say to her, you've got to score some bangers, and that definitely was a banger.
Something out of nothing, and Sophie Stapleford makes it 3-0. Right, so Olympic have really got to regroup here now. Gosner goes long, trying to put Ames in behind. Evans gets the touch. Bainsfair that's hemmed in there. Turned over now to Gawthrop. It's a nice ball to get it back to Gawthrop, and she tries to slide Stapleford in to take it wider than she'd like. That is a mess. He chips on into the area. Easy pickings for Haynes.
Yeah, back to what I was saying before. Sophie scored that banger, so I kind of forgot what I was saying, but I remember now. Just about, Gemma House playing out wide. You'd like to see her back in that central area. She's so lethal at getting in behind that defence, and you see every time she's played that centre role, she's scored so many goals. I just think she's, such a good threat in that position, so maybe a bit of an adjustment from the front line might help Newcastle Olympic.
Well, they did have her in starting in that right wing position with Dobson in the centre of that front three. This is McDonald. Now play it back, and Neal nips in and pinches it. Tries to go quickly to Omes. Bundled out of play by Hogg. And Omes swooped on this one. Tune that gives it the heave-ho. Stapleford again making a nuisance of herself on the edge of the area. Couldn't quite get on to that one. This is Daly, who tries to slide it up the line in the direction of Bainsfair, but not enough room. Nanovic with the free kick, lining up again. Try and get into the action here. It's floated deep, hand on it from Haynes, and that's just enough. And then Hewen takes no chances with it.
Yeah, another good delivery from Maitland. Pretty far out too, so it was a great ball by Sophie Nenadic and a good save.
Get another free kick this time from the far side. Starting to mount up here. Poutney again from the left-hand side. She had the delivery for the second goal. What can she do here? Goes deep. Omes takes on her defender, beats one, can't beat the second. And we'll get another set piece out. It'll be the first corner of the evening. And Nadovic on corner duty. Yes, now keeps it on the deck, just misdirected slightly. You could see what they were trying to do, try to tee up Stapleford again. Now they'll try and recycle. This is Poutney. To fashion something again here, the Magpies. Shot comes in. Morley, who tried her luck from just outside the D.
Yeah, it's good to see Josie Morley back. Been out for a little bit with her knee. Tough character coming back from that ACL and playing. So, yeah, it's really good to see her back and playing well too.
Mess has gone down. No foul this time. That's fair. It was largely shoulder to shoulder. That was House trying to get in on the action. in a more central position again. She must have just stayed on side. It must have been tight, but we go on. So House, can she take him on from here? She can, and just scuffs the shot under pressure from Gosner. Thornton is able to watch it roll past a near post. Free kick's gone Olympics way there.
Good position for Olympic here. Hopefully they can get one back on Maitland with the set pieces. They'll be wanting to get a goal before half-time.
Work out what the conversation there was about between Hyun and her opposite number, Pountney. Is the one-person wall at the moment. And driven, well held by Thornton. Firmly struck. Thornton held it well, and Neil, the fancy footwork there, trying to come out of defence. But now it just breaks down, and Dag throws a foot at it. Donald manages to win it back. She's going to have to try and lay this one off. That's a nice ball in behind for Baines. Fair! Thornton makes the stop, and the clearance comes from Gosner at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, nice little play there from Olympic. You could see they were a bit desperate for that there, and they got a chance on goal, so maybe something they need to take into the rest of the game. A bit more aggression, a bit more positive going forward.
Dobson out to the corner flag as per standard.
Not much room to take the corner.
A whole lot, no. Might get a new fence eventually. She just swings it in the edge of the goal area. Daly chasing for it now. Might get the power on the header. It might work out. No. Can't fool the defence, and now they try and send Stapleford quickly. She's up on her own at the moment. It's just trickled out of play. And the Olympic defenders can breathe a sigh of relief. Over straight away though. Gawthrop trying to take him on, and then still with Gawthrop. Might be too. She somehow almost retained possession. That's nice footwork from Dag, and then rides one challenge, lays it off to Hyun as they try and open up this park a little bit. Got Baines fair to aim at, and that's where it goes. Come across in cover now, the Magpies defence, and deal with it. Hyun to try and recycle for Olympic. This is better, just starting to string some passes together now. And the switch of play out to Dobson. In a little moment where Dobson and Daly were looking at each other, saying yours, but he dealt with it in the end. And Mess gets a foot in. Still McDonald that ends up with it though. Out to Hyun. She floats one over. Gosner gets ahead on it, strong in defence. Maitland centre half. And Mess. Morley did well to keep possession there. Gets a threat of a couple. Dag. Slices off the boot of Evans.
Bit of a better passage by Olympic, just trying to settle, keep the ball for a little bit longer. Just got to be a bit more patient and try and get their numbers forward a little bit more to create an overload going forward.
That will come back for a free kick. Conceded by House, who has gone more central up front, like you suggested.
Maybe they heard us.
Watching down there It's just a case of great minds think alike.
Did work with Craig Atkins for a while, so we are normally on the same page.
Neil steals it. Can't get past Daly, so has to look back to Gosner. A little bit more intensity now from Olympic as they win that one back quickly. Just trying to craft something here. It's Kearney that got an important touch there. Now they'll try and break again. Pountney. Check a run and look back to Carter. Nanadovic. Kearney. Carter again here as Nanadovic drops in now between the centre halves. Hyun wins it back. This is Hall. Feld there. Going to get a whistle, we are. Hyun goes quickly. Try and catch Maitland napping, but alert to the threat. It's Kearney. Which gets the nod. Hyun in, ball and all. Dobson and then Hyun on the deck. Dobson to McDonald. Force back to Hogg.
Getting a little bit more aggressive now. Sorry, I think my mic just nearly fell off. Yeah, it's good to see Newcastle Olympic getting into the game a bit more now. They'll be disappointed with those early goals, but there's still so long to go, and they can keep trying to push numbers forward and try and disturb the Maitland defence. I'm sure they could, try and get a goal. They've had a good passage of play these last 5-10 minutes.
There's been a shift in momentum, yeah. It's Olympic with all the chances of late. They're more sort of half chances at the moment. But they're just starting to get a little bit more joy up front, a little bit more incisive, giving the Maitland defence a little bit more to do. Speaking of which, there's the right back Neil who tries to start the move again, and she runs onto it now. Will O'Neill picks out a mess. And that might be a free kick as well, and there might be a yellow ticket coming for Jess Evans.
Yeah, a little bit silly there. It looks like everyone's kind of slipping around a little bit, but no need to go in like that. Now you're giving a team that has just scored a few off set pieces another good chance.
Rather direct effort. It was really covered by Haynes in the end. Now, Dobson has won this back now. She's got one to aim at. She's going to just have to hold it up and wait for some help here. And now it comes. It's not a bad ball in central. Dostin nods it on. That's the flick from Nanadovic. McDonald trying to force something here. House out to Dobson. And they'll earn another corner for their efforts. Down off the head of Hyun. Maitland scramble clear. It's a Stapleford. Holds it up. Now the Magpies might be able to break here. They try and put Pountney in behind. But first two is Evans. Starting to get a bit stretched here now as this half wears on. And free kick goes against MS. Hyun goes long and Thornton is always favoured there. Nenadovich tries to switch a play but doesn't make it all the way across. Bainsfair trying to roll it in behind and Neil is able to shepherd it out of play. It's going to be either a free kick or a goal kick. Much of a muchness back there. Goal kick's turned over straight away. Back with Pountney. Flick inside, McDonald. McDonald does come up with it for Olympic. Just pinched off her now. Kearney turns out well. Hyun has just switched sides momentarily with Daly. Pass just comes in a little bit short. They put themselves under pressure, but they play back out of it well. Haynes is the outlet. Hyun. Hogg. Daly. Daly will try and take him on that right flank now. Still going is Zoe Daly. She's got 3 to aim at central. Swings the crossover. Gostner meets it. It was slightly awkward for her, but she deals with it well enough. And the threat is still not over. This is Bainsfair. Pountney gets a foot in and snuffs out the threat momentarily. This is Hogg. Evans. As Hyun White tries to slide in behind. A little bit too ambitious. It gets to Hyun eventually, though. Tries to put House in behind. And Maitland recover momentarily, but they conceded the throw. This time it's House who draws the free kick. They go short, and then it's chipped over the back, and it was the right idea, just slightly off. It was Dag trying to pick out Dobson. Bainsfair queuing up towards the back stick as well. This is House. Nadovic to Neal. Yun blocks the pass. Take two for Neal. Gosner. A mess is saying, get it forward. Staplefoot waiting for it. And just unable to keep it in play.
Yeah, you can see Newcastle Olympic getting a bit frustrated when they're trying to press on and win the ball back in their final third. I could see there was 3 Olympic players still at the back against only 1 Maitland player. I think they need to be a bit brave and push more players on.
Well, this is Daly getting forward now again. Hogg. Given up here. Dangerous position. Now here come Olympic again. Got a few more forward here. Dobson goes, and it's just over the bar. It's Daly again. And maybe Olympic just starting to lose a little bit of patience here.
Yeah, I think so. Forcing it forward a little bit too much. You could see both their centre-backs were free. Maybe just come back out, go the other side. Try and move Maitland around a little bit.
It's allowed to bounce, which is always awkward. And then Hogg puts her foot through it. Mess back to Neal. Hyun intervenes. Tries to hit House quickly. It's in a battle with Gosner. Now Thornton has had to come a long way out, and it'll be a throw-in to Olympic. To go quickly, quite quick enough. Donald back to Hogg. Cross to Daly's under a little bit of pressure from Poutney. Fortunate touch there. Now it's with Hall. Dobson comes back to win it back for Olympic, and then they try and spread it to House. Still House does really well to keep possession there. Tries to slide Hyun in behind. A mess doing her defensive work now. Donald, she won the corner here. Corner is given. Another chance here from a set piece for Olympic. 4 and a bit minutes to go, plus stoppages and the variation here. It's Dag that's going to deliver this time rather than Dobson. She's got an option short in Bainsfair, maybe. Bainsfair withdraws now. Dag goes into traffic. Thornton gets a hand on it. And it'll be another corner.
Yeah, it was a good ball by Elodie Dag. But all corners from Newcastle Olympic so far have been really good. They've just got to get someone on the end of it.
This time it is Dobson who will take. Tall presence in Daly, just lurking at the edge of the goal area. Goes over the top of her. Gosner gets a head on it. A mess. Will send it long. Hogg hooks it back the other way. A mess again. Gosner. Carter go long to pick out Pountney. Daly got in the way of it. They've turned it over here, though. Carter, I'll try and go quickly. And that could be a free kick. That could be trouble. It'll be a yellow card for Hyun coming, I reckon, here. Once she gets to her feet, that is.
Yeah, it was interesting there. I thought Alex was going to win that. She decided to just turn her body, and I think the pace at, is it Keeley who's on the ground? Can't see.
Figure out myself. Might have been Gawthrop. It was her and Stapleford up top.
Yeah, I think it is Keeley. She was just running so fast that when Alex turned, she went straight through, and it's come off worse.
Yeah, it is Keeley Gawthrop who was felled. So, assuming that yellow card was eventually shown, because I had my head down in my notes, it was. That's two of the back four that are now walking the tightrope for Olympic. Jess Evans is the other. Stapleford and Nanadovich standing over the dead ball. 5 in the wall for Olympic. Pretty much dead centre. Stapleford goes herself, hits it firmly, but straight at the keeper. Haynes is able to hold the shot. Dumps it long. Gosner meets it with chest, I reckon. This is Baines fair, a position we're not quite used to seeing her in. Shuffled the personnel in the first half of Olympic around the park. This is Hogg now. She's remained at one of the centre-back positions for all 40-odd minutes thus far. Daly trying to fashion something, but it's not happening for her at the moment. Daly wins it back as Maitland try and bring it out. Dobson now. Baines fair tries to help it on its way. There's just no one making the run through there, unfortunately. Thornton pounces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of time added on.
2 minutes to be added at least. Dobson inside. She was trying to pick out Baines fair. Gosner got to it, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, I just feel like at the moment Olympic aren't really on the same page going forward. Riley trying to cross it in, and there not really being anyone there ready to put it in the back of the net. I just feel like they need to have their halftime talk and come back out and try and keep on the same page, stick to their task and get those numbers forward, as I've said all game.
Well, they've at least settled after a really damaging opening 16 minutes. McDonald has to check her run. Fortuitous to House, although touch has to take her wider than she would have liked. She's well jockeyed by Carter. Still House with it, going the wrong way at the moment, but at least holding on to the football. She's got Hyun asking for it out wide. It's a right idea. Gets to her the second time. Flag stays down. Hyun flicks it back across. Dobson has got a chase now. Manages to get free and get forward, but it was Gawthrop that came in with an important intervention there. Daly to try and get things going again for Olympic. Takes one on, does Daly. Swings across in deep. Hyun tries to get on the end of it. It's just wide. And final touch came off a Maitland defender, so it is a corner. And a chance to try and pull one back in the shadows of half-time for Olympic. Dag goes into the traffic. A mess on the counter-attack for Maitland. Still a mess. She's got Stapleford forward. She tries to swing it across. Instead, Stapleford chases after it anyway. Now, Morley. Try and whip one in. Has that come off a hand? It has. It'll be, I think it was just outside the area, so it'll just be a free kick. Is that the break? It's the break, okay. It's the half-time whistle, and it's Maitland who will take a 3-0 lead into the Sheds. Goals to Gosner, a mess, and then a well-hit one from Stapleford. So at half-time at Darling Street Oval, Newcastle Olympic 0, Maitland FC 3.
That's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good. yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
The players walking back out onto the pitch for the second half here at Darling Street Oval. It's Newcastle Olympic chasing the game. Maitland scoring all 3 goals in the opening half. Daniel Herrero and Cass Davis with you again for the second half. It looks like Cass has been one change, I spot at least. Kiala Baldery on the park now for Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, probably something you need to do, freshen up the team. Obviously being down 3-0, you got to change something. So we'll be looking to see what Newcastle Olympic have changed for this half. Obviously, yeah, 1 substitution. It looks like Maitland have come out with the same team.
Figure out who went off by process of elimination in a sec. I have a hunch it might have been Bainsfair, just as from a quick look of who's out there. Just heard it over the PA. It is Kira Bainsfair who's been given an early mark. Just the one change at halftime. Second half underway. We've had a slight false start. Now we get going again. Stapleford rolls it back to get things going for Maitland, running from right to left on your screen in the second stanza. That is a clash of bodies between McDonald and Ames. So most of the damage done early so far in the game. All 3 goals coming in the first 16 minutes for Maitland, including Sophie Stapleford with a very handy strike to make it 3-0. This is Daly trying to get herself out of her own corner at the moment, and it'll be a free kick. I wonder if maybe you could play advantage there as Baldery tried to get free. Always easier from up here.
Yeah, always is. If I was on the field, I'd probably be pretty annoyed about that. Looked like they might have been on an attack, but it's okay. The ref sees different things, so just got to play to the whistle.
Did that throwing go into play or not? No, Daly will get a take 2. Definitely in play. Pountney's gone down here and we'll get the free kick. Daly just going through her there. Maybe Gawthorpe and Pountney not quite on the same wavelength with that one, so goal kick to Olympic, short to Hogg, turned over here. This is Gawthorpe again, still going now. She's just taking herself out of play there. Dobson tries to get Baldery on a run, but it's Kearney steps in. And Dobson. Let's go quickly. McDonald manages to win possession of the football. She's taking herself away from the support at the moment. She's going to try and take on a couple here. McDonald has got to look for a cutback here and just couldn't quite hook it back.
Yeah, she's done well there, Sophie McDonald. Such a good runner of the ball, and it's nice to see her take people on. Should be pretty disappointed with the final effort of the cross, but good signs.
Gostner now looking long. Mess flicks it over the top. Stapleford was the target. Now she might still come up with it. Stapleford. Hogg gets a foot in just in the nick of time. And do get a free kick there. That's Hyun, who's got to be a little careful. She's already on a yellow card.
These free kick spots seem to keep happening, Daniel. Another good chance for Maitland.
Right, it was roughly that spot, corresponding spot in the other half where it came from for the first goal of the game. See what happens here from Nenadic. She hits it dead, goes herself off the post. Oh, so close to making it 4, and it would have been a really special strike for Sophie Nenadic. And now they've got to try and check back here, Maitland. As Olympic try and break house, sends it long. Trying to find Dobson. It's Kearney. He almost puts it out of play. She spotted Neil in the end, and Maitland can try and counter here. Just breaks down there. That's Hune. Haynes must have been very relieved when that ball ricocheted back out away from the goals. Hune in a bit of space here. Try and go quickly. Bouldery to Dobson. Dobson hits it quickly and forces a really, really good save from Thornton.
Yeah, it was a good chance there by Riley Dobson and a great save.
Just managed to tip it over the bar. She was tracking back. But for a moment I saw the net ripple and just had to question myself, but no, a really good effort to keep it out.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, to be honest. It looked like it went in.
And missed opportunity from the dead ball. Carter. Stapleford around the corner to Kearney. Dobson, good sliding tackle. Not a typical striker's tackle, a well-timed one. Evans and Hogg and Daly. Daly just left a little bit too much to do there. Now Gawthrop. Run herself into a cul-de-sac here. Just gets out of it and played for the free kick. Didn't get it. Throw into Newcastle Olympic.
Yeah, I think Olympic need to start trying to get players like Elodie Dagg and Gemma House on the ball. Even Sophie McDonald running at people and starting to create stuff. Seems like they're not getting a lot of touches and a lot of chances, and they're the players that are going to win you games.
This might be... No, that one did go in play. So it might be the second throw that we see retaken, but it's Daly with the ball in her hands now. Gets it back underway. The boot of Hune, it will be a throw. Sliced off the side of the boot. Pountney wants to get things going quickly, and she does. Stapleford. Pountney takes a ricochet off McDonald. It was awkward for Hogg. This is Morley. Clearance comes.
Yeah, I think those clearances can really change things. You got to hit through those, get them out. Otherwise, the other team just keep winning the ball back and coming back at you.
Nenadic. It's Neil on a run. It's a nice ball. Neil wins the foot race. A mess. Again, wins the throw. Neil flicks one in just a little bit too low to be effective. County chips back in. It was flicked behind by Stapleford. Hune. Neil might have a second crack at this. Swings one over. Misdirected slightly. Haynes rolls it to Hogg. It's a good switcher play. Hyun now. Trying to get forward for Olympic. Dobson. Hyun continues a run. Goes in central, a little bit too central, and Carter deals with it.
Yeah, Alex Wynn seems to be getting a little bit of space out there now with Georgia Amos pressing quite narrow and trying to get onto the centre back. Georgia Hogg's trying to find Alex out there, and she's getting those passes. It's just that next pass. What can they do to try and get in the front third and create a chance?
Donald the final touch there, so it'll be Maitland throw. It's work from McDonald to roll the marker there. Carter has to look back to Thornton. Put under a little bit of pressure by the press. This is House. Got options left and right. Goes on her own for the moment and shifts it to Dag, who sends it to Hall. And it breaks down again. And Maitland will try and break here. Neil made a really good run. Just missing the final product. Hall. Dag. Hyun. All the way across to Daly. He tries to go on a bit of a run, but Pountney gets a foot in. Ooh, Gawthrop just left it behind, just to come back for it. No nonsense clearance from Evans. Gosner gets in there and free kick. To get this going quickly, it's Bouldery out there. Neil, who gets a foot in. Bouldery's managed to come up with it. Comes back for Dobson, takes it first time. Thornton, nonchalant with a trap. That wasn't the firmest hit or strike, but expect the keeper to just go on the toe like that in that situation. Controlled it well. Bit of head tennis ensues in the middle of Darling Street Oval. Dag. Tries to put House in behind. Just has to wait for a second. It didn't sit the way she would have wanted. House still trying to force something to happen here. Rides one challenge, goes down now. Play goes on. Daly beats the initial effort from Pountney. Still Daly, twisting and turning. Needs to get a cut back here. Pountney does well. Slides it up the line. Hogg. It's Hall brought down there. She was. Free kick to Olympic. Georgia Hogg assessing her options. They've got a few more forward now. Decent shape on the free kick. Carter is there. Might have taken a ricochet off Daly. We'll wait to see what the call is from the AR. White throw. McDonald has come up with it now. Tries to get a shot away. It's not a bad one. No, it's another top-class save from Thornton. Maintains the clean sheet.
Yeah, very good save there by Annabelle Thornton. She's put off 2 of those now tonight, and we've seen them happen all season. She's having a really good season, and they're top saves.
It's a well-placed strike too. It was right up near that top corner, and Thornton to get 2 hands to it. Dobson again from the corner. Goes low. Dag got a touch on it. Spins, and Dobson will get a second chance here to try and chip it in. And chip it in she does. And it's sliced by Nenadovich. Done well enough so far. House has a lash at it. Drags it wide of the target. Well, I guess the one thing we can say for Olympic, 3-0 down, but not for Thornton's acrobatics. Could have been a much closer game by now, so still some hope for them at the moment.
Yeah, it's all about taking those chances. Probably two, really good saves, as we said, and...
Here's Dobson in a bit of space. Dobson will go herself. Thornton makes the stop, and the follow-up is wide. There's a touch on the way through. It'll be a corner. Thornton, again, is unbreached.
Yeah, 3 now, so if those go in, it could be 3-all. You could say it the other way too. Maitland have had a couple of chances as well, but yeah, as we've just seen, 3 really good saves, and if Olympic can put one in, momentum starts to change.
Searching for a way through. Bouldery just couldn't get the shot away. Shot does come away now. Second effort from Hewen. It ricochets. It's still there for Olympic. Maybe Dag trying to recycle, but she's going to be forced wide. Elodie Dag beats a couple. Still going, gets it back. Hewen has to wait for it. Now Hall, what does she do? Flicks it across. Daly has to chase. Zoe Daly has a bit too much to do there. Evans. McDonald. Roll really well. House. Hogg. Try and get things going again for Olympic. Can't get it through the traffic at the moment. Maybe now House. Here we go, Bouldery. Trying to make some room for herself. Nenadovich nips in, wins it back. Neal under pressure from Hewen. Hewen has it now. Has to swing one over and does. It's just over Dobson, and it's just across the face of goal. And Kearney is waiting for it to try and mop up. Daly pops it back into the area. House. House cuts back inside now. And Maitland survived that raid. Just hanging on at the moment, the Magpies. Been a shift in momentum. But Olympic have got to try and convert it into something on the score sheet. They're finding a bit more space now. Jess Evans in a more advanced position. Shifts it to Hewen. She goes the aerial route, spots Dag, but it's Nenadovich that gets in first. This is Pountney. Lays it off for Kearney. Back inside for Pountney. Carter to Nenadovich. Magpies just trying to catch their breath here. A little nutmeg, I mean slightly fortuitous. Kearney, nothing fortuitous about that. That was good work from Lara Kearney. Gosner to Ames. He's got Neal on the overlap. Comes back inside instead does Georgia Ames. McDonald picks it up here. Tries to do something with it. She's probably going to get a free kick out of it. She does. Better passage there for Olympic. Still a solid 26 minutes plus change to go in this one. Could turn quickly. Neal finds a way up the line to a mess. Tries to take on Hewen. Still a mess. Got Pountney waiting centrally. Pountney gets a touch on it, but Daly was across to cover it. Now McDonald in a bit of traffic here. Turn it over, the shot comes in, stings. Carnza Haynes. Goes the aerial route this time, trying to find Dobson. Almost fell kindly for Bouldery. Gosner has it now. This is a mess. Back to Stapleford. A mess knew she was in an offside position, so just lets it roll over the touchline. Maitland just trying to wrest back control of this game. Kearney goes quickly for Pountney. Intervention came from Hall. This is Dobson now. He's got Bouldery waiting for it in space. Comes back the other way instead. Gawthrop comes back. Dobson still with the football. Beats one. Can't beat Nenadovich. McDonald back to Hogg. McDonald again. Good shifted play to Hewn, edge of the area. Prods it forward, prodded it into Neal. Hewn gets a third crack at it. This is Hall. Trying to combine with Dag. Just got themselves in a little bit of a muddle. A mess now. Maitland on the counter-attack. Couple surging forward to try and provide an outlet for O'Mass. She goes herself for now. She's been brought down. This might be a booking for House, and it is. Gemma House just forced to commit the infringement there. Another dead ball for Olympic to try and defend. Nenadovich goes deep. Haynes is able to watch it float over the bar.
Yeah, Olympic having some good passages there. As we said before, some really good chances. If it wasn't for Maitland's goalkeeper there, yeah, it could be a few more goals, and you can just see Maitland's front three, particularly Georgia and Renee, kind of staying that little bit higher and wider and hoping that the ball comes out to them and then trying to get Olympic on the counter, which we just saw.
Now O'Mass has been picked out here. She's in behind. Try and swing one over here, Georgia O'Mass. Evans does well to hold her up for the moment. And the ball comes in and Hogg gets a foot on it. Now Hall loses control of it. Stapleford, edge of the area. Has to look back here. And O'Mass again has to leave it, convinced that she was offside. And Nenadovich tried to play that through. Hewn. Chips to Daly. Hogg. The first change for Maitland, that is Renee Pountney, who is withdrawn. And should be replaced by Georgie Williams for the final 20-odd minutes of this one.
It's a pretty good change for Maitland. Georgie Williams is very quick player, likes to try and beat people 1v1, and another attacking threat for Maitland.
Daly. Still Daly. Stapleford. There is Williams getting her first touches in this game. Rousing reception from up here in the grandstand. Ricochets off Dobson, and we'll get a black and white throw. And that's going to drop that for a throw as well, off the foot of Hogg. Kearney's got Williams in short. You will go a little longer. Just poked out of there. Baldery to Dag. Has to send House on a run. She tries to send Baldery on a run, and out comes Thornton to the rescue again. McDonald rolls her marker. Baldery now. A little bit of pasture here, Baldery. Oh, and just gets herself in a bit of a muddle there. Has to win it back, but to no avail. This will be Kearney. Stapleford is strong on the ball. Williams has just come on. Hogg makes an assertive tackle. Tries to put Baldery in behind. And crossing cover was Carter.
Yeah, I'm liking the look of Sophie McDonald. I think she's really come into this game, and she's looking dangerous every time she starts to dribble forward, and a couple of nice little passes in behind to try and create something for Newcastle Olympic.
It's McDonald again. She tripped there. She asked a question, didn't get the answer that she liked. Hogg. Short. Williams. House pinches it. Baldery. Nardovic. Hogg now. Short to McDonald. Evans tries to swing it across to Huon. Neal. Aerial with it. Amos. Stapleford. Amos continues the run. She's got Williams central. She hooks it back. Morley comes off the back of the legs of Daly, and then flicked free by Hall. Neal with the throw to Amos. Now Will O'Neill again. Amos made a straight on side. Neal with the cross. Evans had to reach for it. Still a chance here for Maitland. Now Hall. Got Baldery asking for it. House had just checked back. Williams. Kearney strong on the ball. Nenadic now. Nenadic again. It's a second bite of the cherry. Out to Neal. Still Neal. Swings one in. That's a dangerous ball. Williams, oh, just ended up behind her. And out for a goal kick. Back to Haynes. A little bit of trouble here. Morley forced the turnover. And Neal gets first to the ball there and decides to go on a run in himself. Will O'Neill is going to need to get across in here. A mess. Delay mess. Nice little shimmy. Leaves it for Neal this time. There's a clash of bodies and it'll be a free kick. Sophie McDonald that ended up on the deck.
Yeah, she's not happy about that one. Bit of an off the ball there. Didn't really see what happened, but you can tell Sophie McDonald isn't happy.
So we've got a quarter of an hour to go plus stoppages now. Huon floats it into the opposite half of the pitch. It's returned from whence it came. Was Evans dragged down there? Play goes on. This is a mess. Skies the shot.
Yeah, that was Sophie Stapleford a bit cheeky there. Bit of a pull down to Jess Evans. Referee obviously hasn't seen it. It's played on.
Gawthrop, Nenadovich. And Mess is finding some more space out there now. As Olympic chase the game. Combines with Stapleford. This is Stapleford. Has to take a few on. Gawthrop. Back to goal here. The back heel wasn't the option. Maitland come up with it again. Williams gets inside one. Just too many to try and beat for Georgie Williams that time.
Yeah, I think Alex Huon is a little bit lucky there. Again, a little bit of off the ball over with Georgia Amos. She wasn't happy talking to the sideline referee. Just got to be careful when you're already on a card, and frustrations, I'm sure, are high, and just got to make sure you don't do anything too silly.
This is Neal. Into the area goes Will O'Neill. Still going, gets the cut back. Oh, just evades the waiting. I think it was Gawthrop. Now Bouldery. Nice footwork from Bouldery. Nah, there's a real tangle there. House is staying down, and now we'll get a pause in the action. For the injury, potentially, for Gemma House.
It looked like she maybe landed on her head. Maybe Sophie Nenadovich landed on her head in that challenge.
Meanwhile, have a change. Double change, in fact. So Laura Hall comes off. Zoe Daly comes off as well. Triple. Sorry, just a double.
Yeah, I saw Alex Huon come off too.
And it's a triple now.
Yeah.
They're all ringing the changes. So it has come off. So that's one of the it's one of the yellow cards wiped out for Olympic.
Looks like they've gone to a back three. Newcastle Olympic. It's going to be difficult with how wide Maitland's front three are. But it means they're going to have more players further up the field, which is probably what they need at this point. May as well go for it.
As well, so a whole bunch of changes just then. They've all got to find their shape and find their connections again. McDonald's surge forward now, just dallied on the ball a little bit. Dobson, no, sorry, it's not Dobson, is it? makes the tackle. Nenadovich off the deck. Quick prods it forward. Kearney. Nenadovich. Here come the Magpies again. Stapleford into the area. Hogg makes the clearance. Threat is still there. Williams now. Chaz Kearney continuing the run on that left flank. Kearney tries to swing it in. Can't beat McDonald in the first instance. Does get a corner. So Nenadovich, who has been more than dangerous from a dead ball. She's set up a couple already tonight. It is a very crowded goal area. I'm sure Janali Haynes would not appreciate, but corner is much ado about nothing in the end.
It was kind of difficult taking a corner from that side. I just don't feel like there's enough run-up space.
I just wonder if the plan one day is to move that fence line back, given where the new fence goes. This is Hingston. Evans. There is Hogg on the right-hand side of that back three now, and McDonald is able to turn and run at goal. House has stayed on. She had to momentarily leave the pitch after getting treated. She'll take the throw here, it looks like.
You can already see that space starting to open up for Olympic, having that extra play now in midfield. They've found Sophie McDonald a couple of times with loads of space to drive forward.
Evans takes a moment and picks out Hogg, who was a former fellow centre-half, for that formation change. Evans again, Hingston. Out to King. And then ricochets, it was favourable for Olympic. Bodies flying in from everywhere to try and win back the football now, just on the D. Quick. Hogg. Got Bouldery here, who takes the shot, and a little fumble from Thornton, but she's able to reel it back in. Probably been Thornton's worst moment between the sticks tonight, and she made up for it very quickly. She's pulled off a couple of top shelf saves tonight to keep Olympic scoreless deep into this game. Neil. Quick, just loses her footing, gives Maitland a chance here. Was a mess onside. The flag has stayed down for now. She's got an option central, and Stapleford has her second, and it's 4-0 to the Magpies now.
Yeah, you can see that counter-attack again. Just an unfortunate loss of the ball by Montana Quick in the midfield. Obviously, Olympic were open, ready to play forward, and Maitland, with the pace they've got, first ball forward and an easy cross in and goal by Sophie Stapleford.
Substitution for Newcastle Olympic, coming to the field, number 11, Sophie McDonald, replaced by number 30, Ava McGann.
So as you may have just heard through the effects, Ava McGann is on now, replacing Sophie McDonald. I didn't see her on squatty originally. Must have added that in just before kick-off. So Ava McGann on now, and here's Georgia Amess being a threat on the right-hand side again. It's Hingston. And now Amess, she's got Williams central. Out to it was Haynes to snuff out that threat. It's just really Olympic playing for pride now. Well, I will pose the question to you, Cass Davis. 4-0. Is 4-0 reflective or is it harsh on Olympic?
Yeah, I think it's probably pretty harsh. I think overall Maitland have created probably a few more clearer chances and looked the better team overall, but we have seen Olympic with their 3 chances that Annabelle Thornton had some incredible saves. So, yeah, you could look at it both ways, but I just don't think Olympic have given enough tonight. And Maitland, they're a quality team, as you can tell, on the top on the table, and the way that they play forward and get numbers into the box, and they're very clinical. So they're always going to be a hard team to play. When you're not taking your chances, they're going to probably take theirs.
House is still harrying Kearney hard. This is Williams now, slightly heavy touch, gives Hogg a chance. Now it's Georgia Hogg in Dobson momentarily. It's Dobson again now. Hogg has waited. And a little 1-2. Ricochet ends up with McGann, who's just come on. Tries a strike, but it's blocked. And it'll be an Olympic throw. Now to Hogg, who's also getting forward more now. And another one where it may or may not have gone in play. No, decided it did go in play. No, it wasn't. I thought I saw the referee put his arm out and indicate for an Olympic throw, but ended up being a Maitland throw again. Williams has given Kearney a little bit of work to do there. Throw was taken quickly by Dobson. This is McGann now. Needed a little bit of width and just didn't have it. Northrop sends one long. Williams is running after it. Evans has got body position and is able to lay it back to her keeper, Janali Haynes. Olympic try and play out here. House just let it go by. I think she must have been offside when it was played through. Nenadovich. Gostner. Neal. Bouldery now for Olympic. Slides it to Dag. Rolls it to Hogg. Hogg tries to float one in. Read by Carter. Again. Evans. One for Dobson. It's McGann. Throwing a couple more changes coming for Maitland. Charlotte O'Connor and Sienna Frost are going to go on. It's the end of the night for Keely Gawthrop. Just wait to see who that other change is. It's Georgia Amess, who gets an early mark as well.
Georgia Amess, number 4, Keely Gawthrop. Number 30, Sienna Frost, and 2, Charlotte O'Connor.
Final minute now of regulation time at Darling Street Oval. Maitland, they're going to try and go after a fifth here. Stapleford out to Williams. Got Frost waiting on the other side. King makes the recovery, and it'll be a corner for the Magpies.
Probably the final chance, maybe a few minutes extra time. Could be, one of the last chances for Maitland to get another goal.
Nenadic goes long from the corner, and it bends its way back over the byline. 2 minutes more at least here at Darling Street. It's Maitland are as little as 2 minutes away from being just 7 goals conceded through 11 matches in league competition. Frost tries to go herself, can't get it past Evans. He comes in the Evans, yeah, not by Evans, O'Connor. Sums it long. Dobson with a good touch. Back inside for quick Dag. Ingston. It's Bouldery in behind. Thornton has come for it and meets it just outside her own area. Annabelle Thornton is having a blinder tonight. And as good as Maitland have been, they're relying on Thornton for a clean sheet tonight. Strong was Dag there. Tries to find Bouldery, but Neal. She's been good in defence tonight. Will O'Neill at right back for the Black and Whites. Evans. Now Hogg. McGann on a little run here. Still Ava McGann. The cross is a daisy cutter, and Thornton scrambles and just gets it clear. Nenadic back to help now, and Thornton is able to gratefully fall on the football. Try as they might, they just can't find a way past the brick wall of Annabelle Thornton. Have a pause again here as Stapleford is down on the deck. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Yeah, she's just stretching it out. We have gone well past those extra 2 minutes, so there can't be too much longer. Thornton long. Will do us at Darling Street. Maitland returned to winning ways, a comprehensive victory over the third place Newcastle Olympic. So, Cass Davis, sum that one for us up for us, please.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting game. Obviously, we saw some early goals from Maitland. They came out strong and finished their chances, and we saw a little bit of a change in momentum towards the end of that half. And I think it went both ways. Second half, Newcastle Olympic having some good chances and some great saves by Annabelle Thornton kept them at 0 goals conceded in this game. I think Olympic will be pretty disappointed that they didn't get any goals on the score sheet. Probably a bit of a closer score might have been a true reflection of the game, but I think overall Maitland were the stronger team tonight, and Olympic are going to have to go back to the drawing board and see what went wrong and where they can fix for next game.
And so thank you, Cass Davis, for your input tonight. We'll just have a quick look at what's coming up in NPL Women's. Tomorrow afternoon, Charlestown Azzurri hosting Adamstown Rosebud at Lyle Carr. And then you're in action on Sunday over at Magic Park, Broadmeadow versus New Lambton. Final score here at Darling Street tonight, Newcastle Olympic 0, Maitland FC 4. Good night.